Imagine stepping into a time machine and landing in the midst of a bustling medieval market. The air is thick with the scent of roasted meats and spices, but what really catches my attention are the peculiar eating habits of the time. For instance, did you know that in the Middle Ages, people often ate with their hands, and utensils were considered a luxury? They would use bread as a plate, called a trencher, and at the end of the meal, the leftover bread was either consumed or given to the poor. Talk about resourcefulness. Now, let's fast forward to the Victorian era. Dining was a grand affair, complete with multiple courses and strict etiquette. Imagine a table filled with dishes like mock turtle soup and jellied eels. The Victorians had a fascination with novelty, so they often experimented with bizarre food combinations. One popular dish was called spotted dick, a steamed suet pudding with currants. The name alone is enough to raise eyebrows today. Switching gears, let's dive into the quirky customs of the Roaring '20s. This was a time of liberation and change. Flappers danced the Charleston while sipping on cocktails, and the concept of dinner parties became all the rage. But what's really fascinating is the food. Can you picture a lavish spread of deviled eggs, shrimp cocktail, and the infamous Waldorf salad? It was all about impressing your guests with extravagant presentations. Now let's play a little game. Guess the era. I'll show you a few objects, and you try to guess when they were popular. First up, we have this ornate corset. Any guesses? That's right, it's from the Victorian era. Next, here's a pair of bell-bottom jeans. If you said the 1970s, you're spot on. And finally, how about this funky cassette tape? That's a classic from the 1980s. It's amazing how fashion and technology evolve, yet some trends always seem to come back around. Speaking of fashion, let's take a whirlwind tour through the ages in just 5 minutes. Starting with the Renaissance, where elaborate gowns and ruffled collars reigned supreme. Then, we move to the 18th century, with its powdered wigs and extravagant dresses. The 19th century brought us the Victorian bustle, while the early 20th century introduced the sleek silhouette of the flapper dress. Fast forward to the 1980s, and we see bold colors, shoulder pads, and leg warmers. Each decade tells a story through its fashion, reflecting the culture and values of the time. Now let's bring it all together. Reacting to these quirky customs and traditions from different eras not only highlights how far we've come, but also reminds us of the rich tapestry of human experience. From the way we eat to how we dress, every period has its own unique flavor. So, what's your favorite era? And what quirky custom would you want to try?